This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We got 7 games here on a Friday. James, 4-game Thursday slate. You and I both sweating it out a little bit. I got some fun going on in the showdown slate. You are paying attention to this main slate. Both of us watching Victor Wembanyama just have maybe his best game so far. As a pro, we'll see if he can finish strong. Obviously, second game of the season, he had that monster performance there, but trending towards a career best. I think he's already there, career high in points scored. Came out of this gun firing against Phoenix here tonight, and Spurs are up big towards the end of the third quarter right now. 15-point lead for them on Phoenix. So keep while we're watching that one, seeing if our bankrolls get a little bit higher, because we got 7 games to play here on a Friday.
Yeah, Victor's still going, John. Up to 26 now. And his previous career high was 21. So Victor Wembanyama is here, and he's here for the long haul. Fun 7-gamer. The in-season tournament begins on Friday, John. So
don't know why we have it. Don't get it. Don't understand it. But the players, I guess, agreed to it, and they're gonna get paid as well. So even better for that there. This in-game tournament goes towards the seasonal record too, right? So
yep. Until the the play-in Final Four or whatever in Vegas. So right. Yes, it will count towards the regular season record. These are all conference games. They all matter to some extent, So we've already had some news though. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander ruled out. Right. Halliburton, Kyrie Irving, both questionable. The Miami guys are all playing. We have a lot of news in Cleveland per usual. Like that's been the MO. Shaedon Sharpe apparently popped up an injury. I guess he was too good for his own
points on Wednesday.
Too good. Pop up in the injury report. RJ Barrett, Spencer Dinwiddie, both on the injury report. Scoot Henderson is out, John. Maybe we see Malcolm Brogdon make his.
I thought he was hurt.
5. Is Brogdon out as well?
No, I'm kidding. Remember the Celtics said that.
Oh yeah, yes, true. You got me. Okay, I bit.
I thought he was supposed to be hurt. Oh no, he's playing 30 minutes a night off the bench and looking as good as ever. Right.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be hurt. Right. I'm just so used to asking you that question because I want to see your reaction as a Celtics fan about that question. And I'm not that you care. You just scored 155 points and you just went. Yeah, we'll score 75 in the first half, but how about we score?
Honestly, as a Celtics fan right now, I almost feel like this season's gonna be much like it's been as a Patriots fan during those dominating years, where it's like the regular season is just the preseason, and then when the playoffs start, the season starts. Because I mean, listen, they had a couple tough games. Obviously, the Knicks came back on them. Miami had a lead for a little bit, but ultimately they toughed it out and they won both of those games. And then against the bad teams in the league, they're winning by 40. So I mean, and again. Another night where, Jason Tatum had a big night, but so did name them, right? Like it was Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown. It's another night where all these guys just trade off monster performances here. We had a legitimate question, I guess, in our chat on Wednesday about Peyton Pritchard from our guy Mark. We may have to honestly look at the Celtics now and their bench players when there are obvious blowout situations, because Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard and guys like that are gonna get 15 to 20 minutes of playing time because of these blowouts.
I feel like we haven't really had the true definition of blowout until this year. Will they play 6-7 minutes in the blowout time? They're getting full quarters. Peyton Pritchard got an entire fourth quarter.
Now, the Celtics aren't on this slate. We're just kind of speaking in terms of Boston here. But when we do have them on there, we'll have to pay attention to that. Like I said, a lot of players are questionable. Some players could be returning. Jared Allen practiced, so we'll see if he's back. Darius Garland practiced. We'll see if he comes back for Cleveland here. They have that matchup against the Pacers. I'm on the playbook, I think, on Friday. So I'm pretty sure I'm on the playbook on Friday. So as the guy who makes the schedule, we'll have all that injury news updated in the playbook as we go along. But let's get into it. Like I said, we got 7 games here on today's main slate. So we might as well break it down position by position. Luka Doncic is $13,000.
Oof.
Now,
he's
in Denver.
Yeah.
And he did not pay that price tag off last time out. 18, 7, and 10. 40 minutes is great. I am not going to pay the $13,000 for Luka. I've been pro Luka the first 3-4 slates of the season. Not necessarily pro Luka at the moment here.
Yeah. $13K is probably not a price tag that I am willing to go to, John. I think that's a little bit much, especially when we're considering it's in Denver. So I would just pivot. If you want to get there, by all means. I would rather just play Jokic on the other side of this game for $1,000 less if we're talking just purely about spend ups. I know Jokic wasn't great last game, and now he's dealing with an injury of his own, but I'm probably going to pass on the $13K Luka in Denver.
Yeah.
Even if Kyrie's out, that just doesn't feel great.
Not the greatest spot for that there. Steph Curry with no SGA here at 10-1. Donovan Mitchell with a likely returning Darius Garland at 10K. Dame, $9,400 against the Knicks. Questionable Halliburton. Are any of these top guards that appealing to you here?
No. You could play all of them, but I think Josh Giddey is probably where I'd go. No SGA. I know 8,400 is a lot of dollars, but we know what Josh Giddey can be, and we've seen it time and time again when he's facilitating the offense.
DraftKings was prepared for this one. Right? DraftKings got ruled out early enough. We go from 69 to 84 here. Are you worried about any sort of blowout? I guess no. SGA really drives this offense here. Golden State,
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think this OKC team is pretty good, though. Like the addition of Chet, I think Jalen Williams being the offensive-minded player that he's been this year definitely has taken them to new heights. So I get where you're coming from. I would be a little more worried if it was in Golden State, I'd say. OKC having this home game, I'm perfectly fine getting to get 84.
Yep. That's fine by me. $8,400 down there. Where are we going next? Yeah, Brunson. Tyler Hero continues to be a baller going up against the Wizards. Probably a blowout game there the way Washington has been playing. Jamal Murray, 79. Jordan Poole on the flip side. Cam Thomas is up to $7,200 against your Bulls. Chris Paul, 7K. Simmons, 7K. Anybody here in the mid-tier for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Washington's a punching bag for us a lot of this year, so I'm perfectly fine getting to Tyler Hero, multi-guard position eligible. Not going to get to Cam Thomas at 72. I understand he was 4 for 19 and actually got peripheral stats. So if he just continued, but we kind of figured 60% shooting was not sustainable every single game. I would rather just play Ben Simmons, who, foul trouble, got hurt in that game, was able to come back and play a lot of minutes and kind of salvaged his night with the 11 rebounds. He just didn't give us the assists or points that he had been scoring.
Right.
So I would rather honestly just go to Simmons over Cam Thomas.
Yeah. Talking Malcolm Brogdon again, DraftKings on their take here. Scoot Henderson ruled out before this slate was even posted. Malcolm Brogdon jacked up to $6,500. So they're aware. They understand. 32 fantasy points last time out, playing 25 or so minutes. Got to think 30 plus would be in his maybe even starting here at 6,500. But I would still play that. Now Malcolm Brogdon's a $6,500 player for sure. When healthy. So I like that. Would you go smart? We just saw Memphis play some 0-5 and some bad basketball, but we don't think Portland's all that good.
Yeah, I mean, I think both sides of this point guard matchup is pretty good, considering both teams are bad. I mean, Memphis is a bad team right now. They're missing 2 of their heart and souls in Steven Adams and Ja Morant. And Portland's a bad team. And now they're missing Scoot Henderson, which at this point, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He's been pretty bad to start the year. Not to say he's not going to be a great player, but, right now hasn't been that guy. So I would like using Smart. I would also like using Brogdon. I'm perfectly fine getting to either guy.
Sure. If there's no Tyrese Halliburton, both guards played well. TJ McConnell gave you 35 fantasy points, 18, 7, and 5. Andrew Nembhard went out and gave you 14, 2, 1 in his limited minutes there. Again, blowout run, so he came off the floor, but started off strong. McConnell would probably be the one I think we'd both agree to go towards, though.
Yeah. The thing about McConnell is he was 4K less slate.
Yeah.
So whoever played him got a heck of a bargain. Yeah. Great. He was in the optimal lineup on Wednesday slate. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. Obviously, 52 is a tougher pill to swallow. Half the 28 minutes in a blowout. So, Indiana against a full capacity Cleveland team, probably without Halliburton, probably doesn't keep this game close. But if that means McConnell's going to play 28 minutes, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Sure, 100%. Are we getting a Trey Mann price bump because SGA's out? Is that what's happening here? $3,700.
I mean, dude, he doesn't even
I'm saying DraftKings is just auto upping these salaries here. So any other value guards for you then? I guess.
Yeah. How about you mentioned Trey Mann, but how about and they did this. They obviously hiked up the price. Cason Wallace is $5,400. He was their first round pick this year. Actually a lotto pick. And I know he's 5,400, obviously not great. He's not the best offensive player. He started off really good. He is really good defensively. That's what he was drafted to be, their defensive piece. And it's interesting to see a rookie playing 18 minutes plus off the bench right off the bat. Sure. He is clearly in their rotation. Wouldn't be surprising at all if he started. Vasily Micic is also someone that they could go to. He started some games in the preseason for them. We'll see what they decide to do, but I would just throw their names out there just for guys to monitor in case one of them starts.
What do we do with Armani Brooks?
I guess it depends on the Dinwiddie news. Dinwiddie's questionable. Dennis Smith is questionable. Armani Brooks played because they needed him to play. But if Dinwiddie or Smith or both are in, I don't think Armani Brooks plays very often.
I agree. All right, let's go on over to shooting guard position. Again, some guys we've discussed, some we haven't. Desmond Bane was on track for a really strong game. That game just got out of hand. He's $8,800. Mikal Bridges is $8K. Levine, $7,400. Shaedon Sharpe, $73. Klay Thompson, $69. Again, a lot of price increases for a lot of these guys. Bane kind of stayed similar. I think it was 85 last night.
Yeah.
So thoughts on this top half shooting guard spot?
Yeah, I'm okay getting into Bane against Portland. Definitely willing to run it back. Most of the other guys, I'm just kind of passing on probably until Levine. Levine's probably where I would next get my exposure. I know he's playing through a back injury and stuff. There were some weird comments about the closed door meeting they had today where he said something about, I don't know why the coach thought he couldn't come in the room, but that's not what was happening at all. Didn't like the sound of that, especially for a guy that's being brought up in so many trades.
The report supposedly was that he walked in the locker room and said, "Do you guys want me to leave?" And they told him yes.
Yeah, and now Levine's debunking that kind of, or which I don't really understand. But either way, 70. I think you and I are probably in agreement with the Bulls. They're probably going to get ownership if they're going to continue to be this cheap. Right. And DeRozan 73 and Vucevic 75 and whoever's the lowest owned one, I'd probably play. If two of them are chalky and the third one isn't, I'd probably just that's my approach. I think with the Bulls, while they have this, I'll call them the little three,
right?
Or I'll call them the average three because we are 41 and 41 in our future.
If Garland's out again, Levert's 67. Is that too much for you?
Yeah, that's too much.
Okay. Heald is up to 63. Strus 62. A lot of price jumps here. Tim Hardaway, I guess if Irving sits, is 55. Is that appealing?
You continue to give Tim Hardaway's name out, and not that I'm just yeah, whatever, but I kind of been yeah, whatever, and he continues to be really solid.
Not good. Yeah, hitting shots, knocking them down, giving a little bit of rebounding. So on DraftKings is the format. You get the bonus for the 3. He hit 7 of them last time. So
cash. Probably best in cash. Not the best spot overall, but
I was gonna say I don't love the spot in Denver, obviously, but Lonnie Walker didn't start, but still played off the bench 25 minutes. Think you can go there, assuming that Dinwiddie and that crew are out again. Again, need those guys to be out probably for that value to be there. Anybody else? I mean, did they bump Caruso to 45, Beasley's 48, KCP 49? Not a lot of value right here. Richardson's 4K, played 30 minutes off the bench, didn't do anything of note, but 30 minutes is 30 minutes.
30 minutes is nice. We'll see. Do we have is Caleb Martin still out? He's still out. So I wonder what Richardson's minutes look like with Kevin Love back. We'll see. And Hayward Highsmith is back too, right? Highsmith played 21 minutes right off the rip. So We'll see if that affects Richardson in the long run. I do have one name, and I'll throw it out there. Dante DiVincenzo, $4,100 if RJ Barrett is out. RJ Barrett is questionable, I believe, once again. There's knee soreness. Josh Hart started that game, and so did Grimes, and that was the starting lineup. But Grimes played 21 minutes, and DiVincenzo played 30. And DiVincenzo, we've seen for years.
Quickly, by the way, played 28 minutes in that game.
And quickly here as well. We've talked about DiVincenzo, me and you, for a long time. Like, we thought he was much better than kind of when he was in Milwaukee. Like, they just did.
Well, they would let him play a little point guard at times.
Sure.
And, we liked his ability to fill the stat sheet, but he's going to play the minutes and hit the shots. We know he can give you some defense too. I don't hate it at 41 on a slate where so far there hasn't really been any value. Plus, maybe a little revenge game, right? Going up against Milwaukee here.
Little revenge narrative, 41 but that's obviously contingent on injury news with Barrett.
Right, exactly. Small forward, Butler's 84 as your top priced small forward on this slate. DDR 73. Really the only ones we haven't discussed yet. Would you touch Butler or DeRozan here?
Blanket statement applies for DeRozan here. I would, if he's not like highly owned.
Sure.
I like the price tag a lot. This actually does feel like a pretty good Jimmy Butler spot. It also feels like a spot he might not shoot. So, like, Washington is going to be terrible. We'll see how Miami approaches the play-in tournament or the in-season tournament, because they could take it seriously and maybe like this is their one chance at a title. I'm just kidding. They obviously have been in the finals twice over the last 4 years. But I don't know, like, I like the price for Butler. Just sometimes he doesn't shoot. I like DeRozan. I guess we didn't mention Shaedon Sharpe. Would you pay $7,300 for Shaedon Sharpe?
Yeah, I mean, we passed by him at shooting guard. I mean, listen, hard to argue a guy coming off 50 fantasy points, but that feels like a ceiling. And now they got him at 73. So
no Scoot.
Yeah, maybe. Again, I can't sit here and say like, well, Marcus Smart defense, blah 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 blah. I just saw Jazz knock down 75% of their threes. So
dude, 53s made in that game.
It's ridiculous. Sure, I guess. Other mid-tier guys here. I mean, I've always been a big Denny guy. I don't know if that's going to play out here or not. The minutes haven't been great for him either. Michael Porter Jr., someone that you and I had liked to start the year, really tailing off the last two games for him. So hard to pay that sort of price tag. You got Dort here with no SGA at 56. Talked Tim Hardaway already. Bruce Brown, 54. Kind of an ugly small forward position, to be honest with you. It might be a spot where you just play Zach LaVine at $7,400 at small forward at DraftKings, right?
Yeah, him or DeRozan.
Or Ben Simmons.
Yeah, or Simmons.
One of those guys we've talked at their other spots and just play them at small forward with that multi-position eligibility.
For the record, I don't hate Denny. There was foul trouble in that game. He was really good from the floor. They started him again.
Yeah.
Gafford is questionable. We'll see what they decide to do, but I think he's just kind of penciled himself into the starting lineup. I don't hate the Bruce Brown thing either. Just really, I mean, dude, let's just forget that game happened, right? They won by 50. They gave up 75 points in the first half and 80 points in the second half without Halliburton. Like, Bruce Brown, we know, is a stat sheet stuffer. And he's someone that I'm definitely willing to give another chance to. Really good eligibility for tournaments, so I'd be willing to go there. Josh Hart played 30 minutes, was pretty good, 25 fantasy points, which would be more than okay at $4,700 if RJ Barrett was out. I think this is John, how about your boy Georges Niang?
He started.
If Cleveland is down guys, I know they're Garland practiced but he's questionable still. Jared Allen's still questionable. Like, if those guys need another day back and Georges Niang like snuck into the starting lineup, I don't think that would be the worst play.
No, I agree with you. Again, 10 rebounds was not what I would expect out of him, but he got there. We've been talking enough, guys, without SGA. Does our old friend Isaiah Joe get some extra love? Now, they got him at small forward, but he played point guard at times last year for them.
Sure.
I mean, this guy is, he's been a bucket for us at times. I liked him better when he was 3K, not 4,200, but
same. He started right a couple games last year for them. So if he starts this game, he's going to be pretty popular, I would say, because he is a very high volume shooter for a guy that doesn't play a lot. Like, for a guy who plays, he's probably their best 3-point shooter. Yeah, he spaces the floor well for them. It makes sense playing with Giddey, like going from SGA to like a space, someone who spaces the floor for Giddey. So, yeah, I'd be okay getting Isaiah Joe if he's starting.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Anybody else a small forward?
Not that I see. No,
forward position.
Yeah, not that I see.
Giannis, 10-8,
Mr. Antetokounmpo
against the Knicks. Wasn't a good day for the top price guys that was slate.
No, it wasn't.
Luka flamed, or snowflaked rather.
Giannis also snowflaked. If you had an out, you were right there, but you definitely can't say flamed because that would
flamed out. Yeah, flamed out would be the right terminology there.
Imply that he was on fire on DraftKings, and that definitely
was not the case. Triple J again, blowout game there. Was having an all right night for himself there in 26 minutes, 19-8. Gets Portland. Randall, not a big fan of there. Mobley would be pretty good if everybody's out again against the Pacers. I like that spot for him. You keep telling Kyle Kuzma, and I just keep ignoring you, but Kyle Kuzma's been really good.
I don't know why people are ignoring me about Kyle Kuzma. Like,
because my perception of Washington is that they suck, and they do.
They absolutely do.
They've been blown out in each of their last 2-ish games, 26 and 25 minutes for him, 25 minutes in the first game. So, I mean, if it's competitive, he played 36. If Miami blows them out, he's going to play 25. But in the 25 minutes, I mean, 32, 33, 45. So.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the minutes. So, John, he did not check back into the game. They were down like big to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they benched everybody. He did not check in after the 3-minute mark in the third quarter.
That's what I'm saying. So, the numbers have been wild if you can get a competitive game, but I just don't think this is going to be a competitive game.
I don't disagree. Miami's 1-4, and their one win, they almost blew like a 20-point lead to Detroit. So I get it in theory.
I'm going to see what the spread is in this game. Point spread for this game on Friday.
It's 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5. I mean, yeah,
I know what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing because
I know
they're terrible. Like, they're a terrible team, and I fully understand that. But he's also putting up monster numbers in a very short span, in a small window.
What's the chat usage without SGA on the floor?
Let us see.
Let us find out.
I think the best usage bump is going to go to Jalen Williams because he's taking a ton of shots. But Chet is probably let us see.
It won't be a huge minute sample size, but
it will not be. But hey, you know what? We're starting to get more and more data. So Chet Holmgren, I can't even 18 minutes. They don't play without this guy. There's no sample. It's an 18-minute sample.
What's the 18-minute sample?
It's pretty good. Per 36, he averages 43 fantasy points.
Yeah, he's got to shoot.
He just needs to stay out of foul trouble. That's the only thing with Chet.
Gotta get block shots. I mean, those blocks are real. Steals are good. So.
Those blocks are definitely real.
I'm at it. You spoke Jalen Williams. What was last year's Jalen Williams usage?
Last year, Jalen Williams. See, this is what we're talking about here. Last year, Jalen Williams, 23% usage, 40 fantasy points per 36. Per minute, Jalen Williams was at and maybe one day 1.09 fantasy points per minute, which is really solid for a $6,500
and for a rookie.
And for a freaking rookie. And dude, he's coming out shooting a lot. Like he's shooting a ton this year. A ton.
Yeah. I like it. Probably gonna be super chalk at $6,500.
Probably,
that's a great price tag.
Yep.
For him there. Brooklyn guys, they started both O'Neal and DFS. They're both $5,100 and $5,200. Last time I said I leaned Royce O'Neal over. He went for 27 fantasy points. DFS went for 22. DFS also went for 36 the time before that. So if you want to just pick and choose your Brooklyn wing, I think both of them are going to be fine here. Grant Williams played 30 minutes, 25 actual in that game, 20 plus in 3 or 4. Any Grant Williams love at $4,800 here?
All three of those guys that we just talked about are probably, I feel like they're in the same bucket. They're all just like low ceiling, low floor. Like they're just final pieces in the lineup. I don't hate them. I don't love them. It's just all like last piece in type place.
You mentioned Dario Saric had a really good game, 6 of 9 from the floor, 20 minutes. We know his role in this team, but the rebounds have been pretty good. Off the bench for them, $4,200 against OKC here.
Yeah, sure.
Any other power forward value for you?
I don't see much. Like I was looking, Gallinari was playing the backup center the other day for Washington.
He started with Scala.
They started.
Played.
They did.
Minimum.
They did. Trendon Watford, John.
Yeah.
Maybe. He played 14 minutes off the bench. They already rolled Claxton out. The bench unit, he's 24 fantasy points in 14 minutes. This is why you and I were like screaming Trendon Watford's name.
I know, he's so good.
If they're shorthanded again, like I'd be willing to go back to that well. So, and then Hayward Highsmith, first game back, 22 minutes. I don't know if that means anything to you. I know Kevin Love was out of that game, but it seems like they're always looking for like the next Max Strus or the next Caleb Martin or the next guy. And Hayward Highsmith has a lot of.
Hayward Highsmith came on during the playoffs last year.
Yes, he did. So. He did. A lot of steam coming his way. So just throwing that out there, like maybe that's something to consider.
Sure. Moving on over to the center position here. The Joker's 12K. We already kind of discussed that one. Bam at 83 is a fantastic price in a fantastic spot. Again, I just don't know. I don't know how long this game is, what it's going to be, right? If I think he's going to play 30, 35 minutes, I'm all in.
Yeah, I think this is as good of a spot as it's going to get. And we just saw Bam have the ceiling game. I think there's no reason to think he can't, once again, have the ceiling game here against a potentially centerless team. So give me Bam as look. I'm not gonna say he's a better play than Jokic, but if Bam gives us 50 at 8.3 and Jokic goes for 60 at 12K, that's a big fat W for the Bam players. So yeah, I like Bam fully off the injury report too, from what he was recently dealing with, the hip injury. So yeah, I love getting to Bam Adebayo here.
Yep, I'm with you. We're talking Mobley, Chet, Vucevic. Dude, we talked all about Vucevic after that Pacers game. And then we went into the Dallas game and we said, lively, like, what are they going to do against Vuk? And we didn't play him. We didn't do it.
Nope.
And he went for 21 and 20. He's still not priced appropriately if he's going to be doing this. So I am going to force myself to put Nikola Vucevic in a lineup here.
I will yell at you pre-lock. I'll make sure.
Absolutely have to make sure that he is in a lineup for me tomorrow.
But James, Chet Holmgren is playing.
If I show you a single screenshot of a lineup I build, and of the 3 or 4 lineups I make, if there's not one Nikola Vucevic, you can berate me on Twitter. You can tag me, tag Fantasy Alarm, whatever you want to do.
All right, here it is. You have to wear a clown nose on Monday's stream.
If I don't play Nikola Vucevic on Friday, because he's in. Okay, if he gets ruled I'm not obligated to wear the
Fair.
clown nose.
Touche.
I will wear a clown nose on Friday.
Okay, great.
If there's no Nick Claxton, they play small ball.
Yeah.
This should be a dominated spot for Vucevic here.
Yep, agreed.
8 net 66. Love the rebounds. Actually, we took the over 10.5 rebounds on this prop. I don't know if you saw it. He got the
final rebound game. I did see that.
He got the clank board to hit the over. So I'll still run that out though. Listen, 34 minutes, back-to-back games of 30 for him. The shot attempts 13, double-digit rebounds. The 5 steals won't happen again, but we loved it. I'm good. I'm good with $6,600 DeAndre Ayton.
Agreed. Dominating. That was like our first dominating performance, right? 13 shots were great. That was a season high. The points were a season high. Another double-double. 5 steals. Obviously not happening again, but the blocks and steals have been pretty consistent for the first 5 games.
Yep. I agree. Other centers here. Thoughts on any of the players below? We have a Sandy Alabama sighting? Oh, doubtful. I thought maybe we were gonna.
Maybe we'll get a Bismack sighting. How about that? Maybe. I know they signed him to his deal. Where did we pass? I just wanted to see. Oh, he's 6,200. So Draymond was extended and had a monster game the other day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't. Draymond could put Chet to school here a little bit too. Yeah. Certainly possible.
I didn't realize. I just thought I didn't know this. They were going to put him at 6,200 right off the bat. Like that was not an expectation.
No, I agree.
Hard.
If Jared Allen makes his debut, do you think he plays full minutes? 6K is a little too cheap for Jared Allen.
Yeah, it's an ankle. It doesn't seem like he would be like too limited. I don't love really anything else, John. What did Isaiah Jackson play? 18 minutes. Like he's a fantasy point per minute guy. If Jalen Smith were to sit again, right? Like if you think that game blows out, you could play Isaiah Jackson, who gets probably 20 minutes. I don't think there's much. I don't think there's much else. Sorry, guys. We're just watching the Victor Wembanyama show. Really, just
we are double. Just nailed a 3. Just nailed a burger bucket.
Just 38.
The dude's on his way to a 40 burger here. He is closing out Kevin Durant in the Phoenix Suns right now on his own, single-handedly closing out this game. So
this is going to be one of the most highly watched, like replayed games you'll ever see in your life. Like the clips that we're about to see today is going to be really a treasure, a real treat. I just almost cursed. I was like, I am like excited, not only because I have a really good lineup going, but like this is really cool. This is his third or his fourth professional game?
Yeah.
4, 5, 5th game, and he has 38, 10, 2, 2, 1. This is not supposed to happen this way.
I mean, he's really good. And going up against Durant here as well. So something to watch. Devin Booker had a monster second half in this game. He's almost got a triple-double, 31, 9, and 12 as this game. We got a minute to go. San Antonio up 9 here in this game. All right, let's make a lineup. See where we're going to plug. It feels like we're going fair and balanced here. So we didn't really have to spend. That we were kind of initially keying in on. So, like, of the plays we've gone over here, like, what's our starting point here in this one?
Vooch.
Yeah.
Or Bam. Like,
I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to play Vucevic here. So
okay, that's fair.
We'll go Vooch. Point guard position. You've been in on Ben Simmons.
I have. It's a great spot. And
Brogdon, 65.
Those were the two names that I was going to. Those are the two names I was going to.
Let's go Brogdon first. Let's see where we go. I think we hated small forward so bad that we were gonna play Levine there.
Yes. I don't want to play two.
Okay. We'll play Ben there. We'll play Ben. Ben at small forward. Jalen Williams at power forward?
Jalen Williams at power forward, yes. Okay. Jalen Williams is a great power forward play.
Shooting guard, 5,600.
There's some good, like, there's pretty good value, like Knicks value, I think, if Barrett sat. I know.
Yeah, we weren't sure on the Barrett news, right? That was kind of thing. THJ 5,500.
THJ is a solid play. Kyrie, we don't know the Kyrie news. Same thing, like kind of in that same.
I mean, he played game one, still 28 minutes, 33 fantasy points.
Sure. That is a fact. That is a fact.
Shooting guard THJ for 55. 57 basically for guard, forward, and util. They did a good job on the pricing. We did have a guy down here that was like 4K though that we were.
Did we?
I thought we did.
Richardson, but like,
yeah,
I don't.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't hate the Richardson thing, but also Miami. This is the healthiest Miami's going to look. I don't know what that rotation is going to look like.
Sure.
You know.
Yep.
Saric. Oh, Isaiah Joe, 4,200.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna plug Joe in. He's gonna play more minutes, I think, no matter what.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a case. Like, even if we were to get, what if we got opening night from Isaiah Joe?
Right.
Yeah,
he's a shooter.
2 minutes, 25 fantasy points.
All right, 6,400 for a guard and a center. We can. I mean, what was our center slot? We liked another center here. We can try to fit two. You said Bam. Bam gives us a 45 guard. What's a 45 guard look like? Caruso? Like Caruso? DiVincenzo. That's what we were talking about. We needed the news
the Barrett news. Yeah.
The Barrett.
Fortunately, at 7:30, the only game. It's the second game that tips. There's a 7:00 game, and then we actually have 2 late night hammers, but only one 7:00 game. So that's good.
Sure. You want to run it back with Marcus Smart?
Sure.
He was having a good game. The game just got
better. Dude, they have 3 players right now.
And a 6K util. Quickly Tyus.
Quickly would be definitely in play if we get injury news or if we get word on Barrett.
Well, yeah, they gave us some tough pricing here. I'll plug Jared Allen. I just assume Jared Allen plays here.
Okay.
Upgraded to questionable, practiced.
Okay.
Give an example lineup out here. So Brogdon, Hardaway, Simmons, Jalen Williams, Nikola Vucevic, Marcus Smart, Isaiah Joe, Jared Allen. Again, example lineup for everybody. We'll have the playbook out. We'll be back live 5 o'clock Eastern time to get everybody ready for the main slate. James, any final words for the people at home?
It's Wemby's world, and we're just living in it, John.
Love it. See y'all later.